Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Megan, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to have you here, and thank you for clicking on my video. Before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys all of the books that I've purchased recently, and there are quite a few. I think I have over 10 sitting here, and I'm really excited to read all of them, so I'm going to show you guys what I got. Okay, so the first thing that I picked up, if you guys haven't seen my first book haul on this channel, I purchased the Red Queen original book, like the first one. Well, I've read it and I loved it so much that I've picked up not only the second one, which I've already started reading and I'm almost finished with, but I also picked up the third one, the huge fourth one, and the like After It All Ends kind of catch-up book with all of them, because I really love this series and I'm super excited to read the rest. But just for a little synopsis of kind of what the series is about, basically the world that this takes place in, the society is divided into people with red blood and people with silver blood who have magical powers, and this is like something that happened over time. It was like through evolution. And basically the red people are treated really badly. Most of them are servants, and then the silver people are like in charge of everything. Well, our main character Mare is the protagonist of the story, and she's a red girl who lives in the stilts, and she gets chosen to go to the castle where the prince and their family lives to be a servant. And during this queen's trial thing where they're going to pick out the queen of the new queen that's going to marry the prince, she falls into this like electric force field, but she doesn't die, and she discovers that she has powers where she can control electricity. And basically the story follows her taking on this identity that's like a false identity, so that they don't expose the fact that this red girl has powers. And there's a lot of like lying and confusion, and she like learns not to trust anybody. And the end of the first book is such a like plot twist that I did not see coming. It like shook me so bad that I just had to pick up the next book. I was on vacation when I read the first book, and I went to a bookstore that day to pick this one up because I was like, I need to know what happens next. So just be prepared if you read the book that the ending of the first book is going to make you want to scream, because you're going to be so mad at one of the characters in the book. But yeah, it is such a good plot twist that you don't really see coming from the beginning of the book. But if you go back and like look through and kind of think about things, you can see the small red flags in the story that this is going to happen, but you definitely don't recognize it from the beginning. But it's super captivating, and I'm really excited to read the rest. Like I said, I'm on the second one, and I went ahead and picked up the rest of the series because I know I'm going to want to read them all. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it. Aside from the rest of the Red Queen series, I've picked up 6 romance books for this summer. I want to read all of these, so here's like a little sneak peek, but I'm going to go over each of them. And since I haven't read them or anything about like any of the first books, because these are all standalones except for one that's a duology, I'm going to read the back and kind of explain some of the stuff that I've heard about them from other people. So the first one is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and basically what I've heard is that the best man and the maid of honor of a wedding are the only ones who don't get sick from food poisoning at a wedding, and they have to go on the honeymoon that is already paid for, so it's not wasted. But they like hate each other, but they basically are gonna like fall in love on this honeymoon, so it's like an enemies to lovers story. And I'm gonna read the back so you guys get some more information, but I've heard that it's super good and I want to read it this summer because it's kind of a summer setting. But I'm gonna read the back. It says, Olive Torres is used to being the unlucky twin. From inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff, her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister Amy, an eternal champion. She even managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man and her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Olive braces herself for wedding hell, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the only people who aren't affected are Olive and Ethan. Suddenly there's a free honeymoon up for grabs, and Olive will be damned if Ethan gets to enjoy paradise solo. Agreeing to a temporary truce, the pair head to Maui. After all, 10 days of bliss are worth having to assume the role of loving newlyweds, right? But the weird thing is, Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more she feels like she might be. With Christina Lauren's uniquely hilarious and touching voice, The Unhoneymooners is a romantic comedy for anyone who has ever felt unlucky in love. So, and the front is so cute and like tropically. So I'm really excited to read this, and I'm definitely going to read it before I go back to school because it's such a summer setting that I just want to feel all the summer vibes. The next one that I picked up is a little bit more of a like heartfelt, sentimental type of read from what I've heard about it. It's called Archer's Voice, and it deals with some trigger warning things, so just warning if you want to read this book. I'm pretty sure it deals with like depression and self-harm and things like that, but I've heard that it is such a good book, so I really want to read it. So I'm going to read the back to you guys. It says, I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine, to forget everything I had left behind. The sound of rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. For 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived and my dad didn't. I'm almost safe again. But the moment I met Archer Hale, my entire world tilted on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one. Yet in his whiskey-colored eyes, something intangible happens between us. There's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the way his hands communicate with me, on me. But this town is mired in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive center of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might find what we need to heal and to live. A gorgeous tale of survival and the healing power of love. So I'm really excited to read this one. It's supposed to be extremely good, so okay, so the next books that I picked up is this duology by Emma Scott. It is Full Tilt and All In. This is supposed to follow one girl who falls in love, and then something happens to the boy she loves, I think, in the first book. And then this is kind of like a re-falling in love and healing type of thing. I'm gonna read the back of the first one. I don't want to spoil the second one for myself, so I'm not even gonna read the back of it because I don't want to know what happens at the end of this one, but I will read the first one's back to you guys. So it says, I would love you forever if only I had the chance. Casey Dawson has always lived life on the edge, impulsively, sometimes recklessly. And now, as lead guitarist for a hot up-and-coming band, she is poised at the brink of fame and fortune. But she is torn between wanting to be a serious musician and the demons that lure her down the glittering but alcohol-soaked path of rock stardom. A wrecked concert in Las Vegas threatens to ruin her career entirely. She wakes up with a hangover from hell and no memory of the night before, or how she ended up on her limo driver's couch. Jonah Fletcher is running out of time. He knows his situation is hopeless, and he's vowed to make the most of the handful of months he has left to him. His plans include seeing the opening of his glass installation at a prestigious art gallery. They do not include falling in love with a wild, tempestuous rock musician who wound up passed out on his couch. Jonah sees that Casey is on a path to self-destruction. He lets her crash with him for a few days to dry out and get her head on straight. But neither of them expected the deep connection they felt, or how that connection could grow so fast from friendship into something more. Something deep and pure and life-changing. Something as fragile as glass that they both know will shatter in the end, no matter how hard they try to hold on to it. Full Tilt is a story about what it means to love with your whole heart, to sacrifice, to experience terrible grief and soaring joy, to live life with all its beauty and all its pain, and in the end to be able to smile through the tears and know you wouldn't have changed a thing. So this is supposed to be really good, and I'm probably gonna cry. So if you guys want to see a reading vlog of these two, I'm thinking about doing one anyways, but let me know down in the comments if you would like to see that, because I will definitely be down to do one. Okay, so the next one that I picked up is the first book in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. It's called The Deal, and this series is so recommended that I finally found this in a store instead of having to buy it on Amazon. I found it at Barnes & Noble in Florida while I was there, and I had to pick it up because I was like, I never see these in stores, so I'm gonna grab it, and I'm really excited to read it because this is so raved about that I have to read it and know what everyone's talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and read the back to you guys. It says, she's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has found someone who turns her on, but while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's coming She's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And it's going to be oh so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. If helping a sarcastic brunette make another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team, he's all for it. But when one unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both of their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. So I think this goes back and forth between points of view, and it's a hockey romance. So sports romances I think are really cool because you get to see like the supportive girl and the athletic boy. I don't know. I'm just really excited. Everyone raves about it, so I want to read it. And the last book that I picked up is A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tillie Cole. This one I know is a young adult romance, not a new adult romance, so it's a little bit more immature, but I've heard so many good things about it and I see so many people like cry over it that I really want to know what everyone's crying about and potentially feel it too. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I like that these ones, the last 4 that I've showed you guys, so all these are like bigger, so I'm hoping the text is larger because I don't like to have to squint. I don't see very well. I have glasses normally. I've probably worn them in some videos you might have seen, and I don't like to have to wear them all the time, so I like that they're bigger and easier to see. But anyways, let me go ahead and read the back to you guys. It says, "One kiss lasts a moment, but 1,000 kisses can last a lifetime. One boy, one girl, a bond that is formed in an instant and cherished for a decade. A bond that neither time nor distance can break. A bond that will last forever, or so they believe. When 17-year-old Rune Christiansen returns from his native Norway to the sleepy town of Blossom Grove, Georgia, where he befriended Poppy Litchfield as a child, he has just one thing on his mind. Why did the girl who was one half of his soul, who promised to wait faithfully for his return, cut him off without a word of explanation? Rune's heart was broken 2 years ago when Poppy fell silent. When he discovers the truth, he finds that the greatest heartache is yet to come." So I think there's going to be some kind of plot twist in this, and it looks really good. And I'm so excited to read these. If you guys want information about any of them after I've finished reading them, let me know down below. I'd be happy to do reading vlogs or reviews or book recommendations of any of these. I'm so excited to read them. So this was probably a little bit of a short video. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown on some of the stuff that I picked up recently, so I would be reading soon. So if you guys want to see anything about any of these books, let me know down below so I can make videos for you. I'd be happy to. I love making videos about books. I think it is so fun. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching my video. If you enjoyed, please click the like button down below, and also go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of my content coming this summer. There's so much fun stuff coming. So with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching my video, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.